Let's embark on a journey towards a healthier, more vibrant, and energized you as I am about to reveal the 10 wellness and energy hacks that have profoundly changed my life, and I hope they have an impact on yours too. In today's video, I'm going to share unique, healthy wellness and body hacks that change my life every single day. And they're super easy things that you probably already have around your home. I've been super excited to share this with you, and these things all really revolve around our emotional, our mental, our spiritual, and our physical wellness. We all have access to this stuff, so let's dive in. Apple cider vinegar is the first one on my list. So if you ever eat something that doesn't really agree with you, then you want to drink some apple cider vinegar. I'm going to show you in just a second how to do that, so stick with me on this one. You can also have it as a preventative thing. So if you know you're going to be eating some greasy foods or things that kind of upset your digestive system, you can use it for that. The other thing about apple cider is it really helps to balance the pH in the body. So anything from your toes, athlete's foot, to anything on your skin. You could put it on areas where you might notice you have a rash. You can even use it to clean up your hair and get all the buildup off your hair, massage it into your scalp. You can swish it around in your mouth, using it as mouthwash. There are so many uses for apple cider vinegar. I find that when you use it consistently, it can prevent things such as headaches or even keeping your body regular and not constipated all the time. So here's what I like to do. I put a few good-sized splashes into the bottom of a mug of apple cider vinegar. I squeeze in a little bit of lemon. I put a little tiny bit of cinnamon. There's never a real exact measurement for this. I put in some raw honey, and then I pour hot water over top of it. I stir it really, really well, and I drink it down. The more honey you put in, obviously, the sweeter and tastier it might be, because it will taste more like, good apple cider. This stuff is supposed to me, be diluted more often than not. So even when cleaning your hair, you might dilute it. There's so many things you can find online. I could probably make an entire video on apple cider vinegar, but I'm going to keep this part short so we can get to the next 9 different awesome tips. Okay, the next one I want to tell you about is called olive gold. This stuff is the best tool ever. It can be used for anything. Like if you have zit on your face and you put olive gold on it, which I'm going to get to what that is in just a moment, it's gone in a few days. It helps infections. It's an antibacterial, an antifungal, and an antiviral. It's a blend of the ozone with the olive oil and the minerals and the nutrients, and it literally is liquid gold. I think that might even be their advertisement. You can put this stuff in your mouth. So I actually heard about it initially from my dentist, which is pretty cool. So if you have gums that are sore or receding, you can put it on your gums. You can swish it around in your mouth. If you have an area that's a little bit sensitive, you can put it on there. It can reduce pain. It also is good for things like cold sores or cuts or scrapes. Did I mention things like mosquito bites? It's really good for that. Any kinds of eczema or skin rashes. Oh, and sunburns. This stuff is beautiful. I mean, I don't recommend getting a sunburn, of course, but if you have, like I have, and you put it on your sunburn, by the next day, it looks so much better and it feels so much better, and it's really good for your skin. I am not affiliated with olive gold in any way. Maybe I need to be, but I will put the name of it down below so you can make sure you check that out. The next one I want to get into is called mouth taping. Now, I got to give you my disclaimer on this one. Do not attempt to try this before speaking to a practitioner or to a doctor or to your dentist or to somebody who can guide you a little bit more specifically on this. I am going to be making a video on this exact topic in the not too distant future. I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell here. We're supposed to be breathing more through our nose and not through our mouth. And there's a lot of people who are mouth breathers. I have been one of those people for most of my life, and I've been practicing for many, many years on breathing more specifically through my nose when I'm just in general, but I notice it when I'm doing things like sleeping or working out or meditation or things that might even cause me a little bit of stress. I go back to the mouth breathing. So what I've learned to do is to put a little piece of surgical tape right over my lips when I'm sleeping. Now, I have been doing this at the time I'm recording this video for over 30 days in a row. And it has profoundly impacted my life. It has helped things like my TMJ and my clenching and jaw soreness has not gone away completely, but it's so much better. The other thing is that I'm not clenching my teeth as much. My neck, therefore, is not all tight and stiff, and I'm finding that I sleep calmer and more at ease. My dreams have calmed down. I'm not tossing and turning as much all night. And the other thing is that when your mouth is closed, it changes the placement of your tongue. When you change the placement of your tongue, it impacts everything in your entire body. So it's so interesting because this one little piece of tape right over here while you're sleeping, wow, or even while you're working out, makes such a really, it's a huge deal. And it's super cheap. When we breathe through our nose, it impacts our nervous system, our digestive system. It impacts everything. And so anything that we can do to encourage our nose breathing versus our mouth breathing is hands down one of the best things we can do for ourselves. Make sure you consult with somebody if you have any questions. I am not a doctor. Got to tell you that. I'm a practitioner and somebody who's sharing my life experience. I want to let you know, since I mentioned the nervous system and our digestive health, that I have this free cheat sheet for you. It's on the gut-brain connection. It actually goes along with a webinar, and then below it you can find the free cheat sheet, and it talks all about this connection between your gut in your brain and how to make that connection more powerful, more healthy, stronger. And we even include at least a couple weeks, there might be a little bit more that my team has added, of recipes that are an amazing resource for you, especially if you want to save some time and just kind of know what the yummy things are that can be very impactful for your body while reducing inflammation. Check that out. I'll put the link below and you can grab that free cheat sheet. Okay, let's get to the next one. Start your day with sufficient water. So your body, it just doesn't work well without lubrication, right? It needs water. Your body's primarily made of water. Most ailments that people go to the doctors for tend to be revolving around dehydration. And not a lot of people will tell you that. So the biggest thing here with dehydration is that you need to drink water consistently. I like to drink water immediately upon waking up. I like to put lemon in my water in the morning. I don't do that all day long, and I don't even do it every day, but I like to do that as often as possible. And when you are hydrated, it impacts all kinds of things like your skin and your hair and your nails, and reduces inflammation in your body, helps your digestive system. Oh my gosh, without water, your digestive system is not going to work very well. And not only that, but it also helps reduce things like headaches and fatigue. And if you want to talk about boosting energy, it's as simple as making sure you're hydrated. And be sure to carry a reusable water bottle everywhere you go, because if you get in the habit of carrying this, you're more likely to be drinking it. Okay, the next one is magnesium. Now, I'm going to put my link below of the magnesium that I prefer from Metagenics. I happen to be a practitioner, and I am sharing it with you because I believe truly in it. I do make a little bit of money off of it, but that is not the biggest reason I'm sharing it with you today. Even if you don't choose Metagenics, you need to choose magnesium because our soil is depleted in magnesium. And it's one of those things that not only builds up the mitochondria inside your gut health, which, by the way, that mitochondria is your energy center. So the more we can support that with a lot of magnesium, the better energy we're going to have. But the other thing that magnesium does is it's like the natural chill pill. It allows our body to calm down, to find more ease. It also reduces inflammation. It helps move things in our bowels. There's so many benefits to magnesium. I could also do a whole video on this one. And so I do recommend that, of course, you always check with your practitioner to make sure, but for the most part, pretty much every human being is going to be a little low or deficient in magnesium simply because we don't get it from the soil like we used to back in the day. So make sure your magnesium is up to par, and that in itself changes lives. Okay, the next one is castor oil. Oh my goodness, this stuff is very powerful. Now, years ago, over 14 years ago, my midwife actually had me drink castor oil before I went into labor. And it sped up the contractions. It was absolutely disgusting tasting. However, I was grateful for the way it kind of cleaned me out and calmed the body in a lot of ways. I'm not recommending, though, that that is the route that you take right now. You might discuss that with your own midwife on your own. However, I am suggesting that you use it topically on your skin. It's so good for things like your cuticles. You can put it on your nail beds, on your fingers and your toes. You can actually use castor oil to massage it into your scalp and your hair. It's really good for that. It's very sticky though and thick. So if you plan to do that, you're gonna need to wash your hair several times to get it out. So just to be prepared, it is not like one of those quick, easy processes, but it really does give your hair a lot of the moisture back that we kind of strip away when we use too much product in our hair. The other thing for castor oil, for me, it's one of those things that I don't leave home without if I go travel somewhere. I have like a roll-on stick of it, and I put a bunch of it on my belly, and I put like a little towel over, and I just allow myself to chill and to relax. And that usually helps keep me regular when I'm traveling to use the bathroom. It's also really good for your skin. Like nothing makes your skin nicer than putting castor oil on it. So keep in mind that if you need to have something that replenishes your skin, it's super dried out, you can use castor oil for that. Not only does it make the skin fabulous, but it also is really good for hair growth. So I used to put it on my eyebrows and my eyelashes to keep them growing. It is kind of tedious though, because again, you got to leave it on there and you got to sit. So it requires some patience to use these old remedies, but castor oil goes back so long ago, like ancient long ago. And it has even more benefits that I can even mention with you here today, but it's usually something most of us have around the house. And it's something I use every single week, if not 5-6 times a week in my household, and it makes a really big difference. The next ones I want to mention are these quick little hacks on energy, but they're also in a calming effect. So I carry these little vials of lavender and then peppermint oil, and I have a purse, right? So I put them in there and I take them pretty much everywhere I go. But there's so many uses. So with peppermint oil, if you happen to get a little headache and you put a few drops on your temples or on the back of your neck, it can really make a difference. If you need to breathe better, you can put a little under your nose, you can put some in your hands and just breathe it in. The other thing is that it keeps away bugs and mosquitoes pretty well, so you can put some on that way. It also is very invigorating to your senses. So if you feel a little worn down or tired and you're driving home late at night and you're starting to fall asleep, you can use it to keep yourself wide awake and alert. Now, lavender is the other one. That one has a more calming effect, and it's also something like if you're in a pinch and you cut yourself and you have nothing to clean it with, you could use lavender. It's an antiseptic. For me, a little combination of peppermint and lavender also help with headaches or migraine headaches. And if you need help sleeping or just lowering your anxiety levels and feeling a little calmer. Okay, the next one I'm going to mention is a little bit different, but this is kind of a big deal. It's called the Byron Katie Judge Your Neighbor Worksheet. I'm gonna link it below. Here's one of the things that I have learned over the years of being a life coach, a somatic coach, and a holistic practitioner now for almost 15 years in this industry. I've been doing personal development work for over 20 years. And I can tell you this, resentments are one of the biggest offenders to ruining your life. When we are stuck in any resentment or judgment even of other people, of old past experiences, of political parties, of groups, of organizations, of our parents, our siblings, our friends, teachers, whatever, then we are going to be in some way, shape, or form out of control in our life. And what I have found to be very powerful is to have a tool that allows us to quickly work through judgments and resentments so we're not hanging on to them. Because when we hang on to them, they become distractions in our life. And when we have a distraction in our life, it actually depletes not only our energy, but it increases our stress level, impacting our gut health, and then therefore depleting our energy even more. So it's this vicious circle that we get stuck in. And what I like to do is help clear those resentments out. And many years ago, I started a process on my own for clearing resentments. And it was very effective, but it took a little bit longer than I would have liked. And then I stumbled on the Byron Katie Judge Your Neighbor Worksheet, and I got involved in this incredible community with other women business entrepreneurs, and we started doing this work together under the guidance of a lovely woman, and who mentored us on really maximizing how quickly we can move through a resentment. So this worksheet is where it all begins. If you find yourself stuck and it's impacting your energy, all you got to do is press print or pull it up on your computer, grab a piece of paper and a pen and fill that thing out, and it will clear out a lot of stuff that you don't need to be carrying around anymore. Okay, the next one I want to share is the old adage, but so true. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. But here's a new little take on it. What if the apple a day also keeps the pharmacist away? Because see, there's so much folklore and so much science on this particular topic of genuinely eating an apple a day. Is it just a thing that has been said, or is it actually something that works? And I read online, I know there's a lot of things online, but this was some back science that on average, people see their doctor 2 times less every single year and spend a lot less money going to the pharmacy to get prescription drugs filled when they consistently eat an apple a day. And apples are fairly cheap and they don't cost a lot. And the other day when my son was biting into his apple, he's like, I feel like this cleans my teeth. And it got me thinking that there's so many more benefits to eating an apple a day than we probably even realize. So I love it. I use it as a habit, as a way of inviting myself into a more powerful state of health when I eat that apple. So here's what I mean by that. It's like you can have a candy bar or you can have the apple. And when you eat the candy bar, it might taste good, but it also keeps you into kind of a lower vibration of health. And we all associate apples with health. So when we get into a habit of daily choosing health over and over again, we start to create more situations in our life where we take better care of ourselves. So not only that, but apples have so many nutrients, so many vitamins, so much good fiber, and all kinds of other beneficial things that we are getting into our body. And I recommend that you eat one every single day. The final one I want to share with you is called a Gouache Stone. And these things they go back way, way, way back. People have been using them for a long time. They're often made of things like jade. They're very smooth, thin stone. And what I recommend that you do is you use it to rub your skin, usually upwards, and then you want to come down. We have a lot of lymph that flows down this way and kind of pools in here, and then we want the lymph to always go towards the heart. We want to get the circulation moving in our face, and we want to get the blood flow going. So it's really helpful to keep moving that. You don't even have to press hard. It's a very gentle, almost like a little massage, moving our facial muscles with the Gouache Stone. I don't even remember to do it every day, but at least a few times a week can make a pretty big difference. This is another good add-on that can even go with the mouth taping, where we get a lot of tension in our jaw and like right here behind our ears a little bit, and we can use that stone to kind of move the muscles, sometimes even under here in our neck. We don't realize how much stuff we store underneath here, and this allows us to move a lot of that, and what that does is it opens up the face. It's almost like the advertisement I could make for you between using the Gouache Stone and the little mouth tape is like an instant facelift. An instant might be a little bit of a stretch, but if you consistently do that for a month or two, you're going to see a big difference in how your face looks. As I sit here with you, I realize I could probably make 10 separate videos on every single one of these topics. So I would love to hear from you. If you have anything that you heard today that you want to hear more about, you want me to go into more depth, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. It helps me in the algorithm. And if you like this video and want to learn more, you can check out the video right after this. Check out that free report that I have for you that talks all about the gut-brain axis, gives you access to free recipes for at least a couple weeks of your life that you don't have to think about what you're going to cook and how you're going to take care of your gut and reducing inflammation in your body. And make sure you subscribe so you can hear when the next video comes out. I look forward to seeing you then.